I like that FaZe Pan skin right there.
I'm a fan of the FaZe Pan. I gotta be honest.
Can't wait for caster skins.
I know,
Super
right?
Excited about that.
Yeah, I know. I've seen them elsewhere. So you know, apparently the streamers get them. So obviously casters are next. Right?
We're in line. Right? I'm right after break.
Right after break.
Well, that's the thing. Like the meme was that break gets the skin and then I'll get the skin.
We're gonna get jackets. Is that right? Is that right?
No, I'm getting a pistol, dude. I'm hype.
So, a good start for TSM. They're back on the top. They're back in the #1 spot.
Who's in chat saying Genji Pan? It's PEL. Get FaZe Pan. Come on now. Come on now.
Genji, they're close to not qualifying.
How crazy is that?
I know. Well, I mean, it's the same with OMG, obviously, right?
Yeah, I guess, right?
4 AM, though. They've got that, right? Right? You didn't kill the mentor. You're a little out of shot focus. There we go. There you are. You kind of, no, you're out of focus again. We're focusing on Raise Your Energy. It's the white in the background that's pulling the camera. It's all good. You didn't know.
Well, so game 1, TSM's way. But we lost out some big teams very early in that game.
Yeah, it didn't affect the qualifying too much. Overall, obviously, it's still pretty much the same in terms of NIP and CrowCrowd also all within a shout. Well, CrowCrowd are still, as far as I'm aware, in with a shout. They are still kind of in there. It's NIP that are on the bubble at the moment. But yeah, G2 has still got that big cushion. They're happy. They've got themselves more of a cushion, obviously, because they got second place in that one. So all works in their favour. I mean, I'm going to have to make this clear, and I'm going to be saying this a lot this weekend, I feel. It's 30% of the points they got from Phase 2. So obviously, if you think back to Phase 2, you remember the big 4 at the top, and I'm talking obviously Team Liquid, Na'Vi, FaZe Clan, and G2, all were 100+ points clear of everyone else. So obviously they have a bit of a healthy margin based off that 30% points. And then coming into Phase 3, obviously we have 70% of those points. So for example, if it's a PGC gap of, say, 40 points, then in real terms, that's around about a 60-point gap. So this is what we're talking about. It's going to get confusing, and don't worry, the analyst desk will help you out through all of this, and they'll talk you through all the different variations of as we go and as you see it. But I'm just the reason I'm explaining this is because obviously I know that all of you guys that are watching on Twitch right now have that app on the side that shows you the real-time points. That is the real-time points for the current phase. It's not for PGC. The big important qualifiers, obviously the top 6, well, #1 will go automatically. So, for example, if N47 somehow pulled off a massive weekend and got that #1 spot, they're going to PGC. But outside of that, chances are, even if they finish second, they're not going to PGC. So there's a lot of variations, and it's going to get very confusing without a graphic.
Well, this is the thing, right? This is the reason you'll actually have to listen to the analysis test once. I'm sorry. I know we all mute, we go do our I know, all right? I do it as well. You know, I can't listen to that James guy.
Is that it? Is it just James?
It's just James.
It's just James. That's it.
No, it's all of them, actually. It's fine. No. But
don't worry,
really
I feel the same way watching 7.
But no, I genuinely mean it, guys. If you do want to try and keep up with those PGC rankings, I know the desk will be, you know, eyes drilled towards it. So do make sure you tune in and listen to that so you get the full context of the matches. Because we do have a lot of games in the next couple of days. We are starting a day early as well, bear in mind. And then we have this, you know, big play day at the end. So there's a lot of things going on. I mean, those guys will be working overtime.
I think the safest thing to assume right now is that FaZe Clan, Team Liquid, Na'Vi are all pretty much a done deal, and I would go to say TSM as well, based on the way they're playing as well. So there's a lot of almost certainties, but you never know. There's 20 more games. 20. I
do feel like
20 more games.
We always say this as well, and we're like, okay, well, this is locked in, and then somehow during those
we have a monster
seasons,
performance.
Something happens, and it's like, okay, decider.
Pittsburgh Knights, prime example, obviously end of Phase 2. They were 10th at the start of the day.
Yeah.
And they qualified in 5th place, and they had a massive performance. It's not the first time they've done it. They've done it in GLL Season 3, I think it was, as well before. So, you know, you never write anyone off, and it's the same with the relegations. But obviously, that is something you can look at with the live points. Currently, the cutoff line is the Pittsburgh Knights in 12th place, and actually, they may have just gone above 12th place. I'll have to double check that, because obviously they just got 4th, 3rd in that last game.
Not sure. Yeah, they held on pretty low. Was it third, maybe?
They got third in the last game, yeah.
Yeah, I'm curious how well they did.
I did miss the tail. I was talking. I've got to be honest. It's all right.
Look at that. I think there's clearly a couple of moments
FaZe.
Anyway, because the players don't have headsets on regardless. So.
Yeah, it does seem like there's a bit of a delay here, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think we just need to make sure that everything's set up right. Once we see the players putting headsets on, you know you're almost at game time. So we are just going to keep a look
Start
on the
game already.
Yeah, casters, stop talk.
Casters, start the game.
Honestly, one of my favorite things, and we don't normally pay attention to, like, you know,
we don't normally
Twitch
pay attention.
Chat.
We just don't normally pay attention.
Just generally, no. But normally, like, I like this Twitch chat for some reason. PUBG has like some fun fans who are actually like, you can have a conversation with. I don't know why I'm giving you guys at home credit, but I am. So just take it while it's there. It's a compliment. But in like CS, for example, the fans are a little different. All right, they're a little different.
Yeah,
We're
just
gonna
a little.
say different. And every time it's like there's a technical delay or something. Chat's just like, can these casters stop talking so the game can start?
Can they just shut up?
Are you? What's wrong? What's happened in your life that's made you believe that we want to be talking like this? You know what I mean? Like,
just love listening to my own voice. It's great.
I know.
I have it extra loud in my own ears just so I can hear myself, my soothing tones. Just playing throughout. But yeah, what a...
it's a wonderful concept, isn't it? But we will hopefully get things started up. If I get information on what's going on, I'll let you guys know, obviously. You can just chill with us.
It is still the Knights, by the way, that are on that bubble.
I like James better than
16
Pansy.
points difference, by the way.
I found James's girlfriend in chat.
Oh, she's turned up. I thought she was busy at university.
Nah.
GamerLegion, yeah, 16 points behind the Knights still. DA, by the way, that tear, it worked out quite well for them. Tell a lie, these are old points. This is no good.
Yeah, we need to find the updated ones.
Try and find a thing, and there's no. Right, you know what?
You want to know what my favorite loadout
unnamed website. I'm not going to you anymore. I'm going to go to the other one.
Okay, hold on. We're talking to chat right now. You keep looking at the points. We'll have a little conversation.
I mean, if you just loaded the actual screen instead of Twitch chat, you'd be able to see them straight away.
Absolutely not. Why'd I do that? Chat knows everything. Favorite loadout, probably 24 and an M416. Do I like Vert or Angle these days?
Still like my SKUIJKE.
I still like Vert. Actually, an SLR, man. SLR is just slap. Penny bags? Shut up.
Start the game.
So, Get Right retired. Wrong game. We can talk about NIP, but yes. It is weird to think about Get Right not in an NIP t-shirt. You know what I mean? You know, sounds so synonymous with the brand.
He was at the GLL Classic, wasn't he?
He was. He loves games.
There was quite a lot of PUBG players fanboying him over him at the time. But the Knights, they are still 22 points ahead of GamerLegion.
Okay,
so they did stretch the lead. It was 16 before that. But
okay, so there's
it does appear that we are going to have a break.
Well, are we going to have a break or are we going to talk? No? Production? You want to have a chat?
Producer's like, no, yeah.
I feel like they don't want us to talk anymore, guys. I don't know why.
Look, we've got to pay the bills. We've got to run the Samsung ad. So let's
get a monitor,
have a
guys.
look
Buy
at
it, please.
the bills. And we'll be back in a moment with more Miramar. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the PUBG European League Phase 3. There's nothing else going on in Berlin this weekend, so watch us all 4 days of action. 20 games. 20 days. 20 games.
Most importantly, the censorship is over. We can start talking again. Because I still see some of like the ENCE players without a headset on. So
yeah, we've well, they're DA ready. They're prepped and ready.
They were ready in game 1.
Here we go. Okay. The coaches have been told to get the hell out. So the high fives are coming out. Yeah. This always gets me right. You know you do what are they called?
Fist bumps.
Fist bumps. That's the word I'm after. I couldn't remember that. Fist bumps. It's like, I gotta be honest. If I'm about to play a game, I don't want someone cracking my knuckles with their fists.
How hard are you doing fist bumps?
Some people do some pretty hard fist bumps. You get that like whole manliness, the testosterone going on in the bloody thing. Like, yeah, high five, bro. And that's what the coaches are like. If you spoke to the coaches, obviously.
I always love the ones where like I think someone's, I can't remember which event it was at. It was one of the CS ones, and they were like defusing a bomb, and the coach like went up behind them.
Yeah. That was
shook them like to like say well done, and literally let go of the defuse key.
It was G2 or
FaZe? It was someone like...
It was a big team.
It was a big team. It wasn't a small team. It was a big team, big game.
And I remember it, like,
it was not...
the turnaround, the face and everything. It was just like, oh, you just knocked my hand off the defuse. They ballsed up and I lost the round.
Yep. All right, guys and girls.
I can't remember what team it was. I do remember that was last year. Here we go. 20 matches to go. This is it. We're on the final stretch. The playing path is pretty harsh, in fact, really. It's for
Southeast, have fun.
Yeah, for those southeastern teams. So we might see some adjustments, some going up to the north, some going down south. Looks like DI are going to adjust. They're coming out the plane very early, along with N47, so Validomar could get very contested. I think DA will probably continue on down the coast.
Let's see if we keep seeing that DA we saw from the last game. That'd be pretty sick. I want more of that.
Yeah, they've still got a lot. I mean, God, I think they're like 60-odd points behind the Knights. They've still got a long way to go to get out of the relegation zone. But, hey, it's doable.
Anything can and will happen in the next 4 days.
The thing is, when it's like, we're basically in tournament mode now. We're in BO20, best of 20 now.
Yeah, it was 21,
it was BO21.
Right,
so we're in tournament mode, right? So if you're, as tournament modes can go, if you have a good first day, you can carry that momentum through. If you have a bad first day, it could go horrible. You could spiral. So all these sort of things, they can happen. And you may even get teams that like suddenly start playing scared, playing safe. So many things can happen.
I think it's actually a really nice mentality to look at, that this is a best 21 now. You kind of bring it into a more manageable amount. Where is SIMSY?
He's at home.
He's a mile away. He's out on his own. All right, so a little bit more of a centralized circle, moving away from the western side, slightly more further towards the east, centralizing towards NIP.
No, he wasn't DC'd because he's gone off to the left.
He's fine.
If it was DC'd, it'd have come out by south of M47. No, it would have been out the plane last, right? So he chose to do that.
But no, as I was saying, I actually quite like it when you think of an event as like that best 21. Right, within these 21 games, this is what we can do. This is what we feasibly can achieve. You look at the points that are practical. You look at the points that are, have potential, and you build off that. And I like the idea of it. I like the concept of changing how you approach a game, and it might be refreshing and give a little bit more of an oomph to these players and these teams who've been grinding for so long. You know, you've had so many games during PEL. It might be a nice way to kind of bring it into a more mentality of a manageable situation or a scenario where you're like, okay, well, these are the games in front of me. This is how I make the difference. And I love that for these sort of environments, because you might see teams being far more aware of the teams around them. What's their potential? Okay, well, this is the team that might be gatekeeping us, you know, on the leaderboards and in whatever we're doing. Right, we can maybe work a way around it because we've got 21 games to operate within.
And also to the point that you see a team that you're basically fighting with in the tables, you get a knock on them, it's only like, we need to fight them. We need to take this fight. Yeah, it's go time on them. There you can see the points. Obviously, you guys at home have had the glory of them. But 59 points DA have got to make up on the Knights. After that first game, who knows what is possible, because it was a mighty performance that puts them up to 14th. We'll see whether it's possible. Of course, in terms of the money, it is the top 8, that is the cutoff. But while we've been talking about CrowCrowd, NIP, possibilities to chase down G2, we should also mention that Reciprocity and Raise Your Edge, they have a realistic chance. It's still only about 30-odd points they need to get themselves into that qualification spot. Even the Knights have a chance. If they were to pull off something crazy, they could still finish off like, I don't know, maybe 9th place. They need like 30, 40 points overall, and they could get into a PGC spot because they had a 5th place finish in the previous season.
Yeah, it's very, very viable, but I think for me, if it's not going to start today at bare minimum, my brain's just not going to allow it to be a scenario that I accept, right? It's just like...
Never, ever writing the Knights off like that. I've done it twice. It's never, ever happened again.
Look, if we see it today, if they show signs of, like, playing out of it, like, honestly, DA to me, the jump-up points they'd have to make are actually insane to be able to do it. And it would, you know, like, again, that is probably the furthest one out, but they've come out on the first game, and they played something very uncharacteristic to what we've seen through the entirety of the season. They were playing aggressive, they were fragging out, and I'm worried that they'll just kind of fall back into a default stance here.
Well, they kind of did.
But I was hoping that they just keep pushing forward.
They had the compound, and it was only when they were forced to move from that compound they went aggressive. And it felt to me that it's like, where has this same team been all season long? This team that can fight, and they've proven it because they've had big fights with G2 on Sanhok as well.
Well, this is the thing. That's what always surprised me was when we saw them being aggressive. I quite liked it. And this was going back some time. Ezra and I was in the lineup. This is not, you know, their passive approach that they had for some while. I thought they had some real potential when they kind of played that stylistic game where they used to send it quite central, but they'd fight for it too. But then it just became send it anywhere we can and just hunker down. So I'm hoping they maybe just go, we just have to play out here. And that's something that might happen to some of these teams where they can't just play the more passive, more, you know, I guess, reactive PUBG. They have to play proactive PUBG and try and make the moves themselves.
I want to see a big shift in this circle. A lot of these teams are playing out like this is going to be a power grid finish. Looking at the position, they're all sort of getting themselves in that position for a power grid finish. The FaZe have gone into their standard compound. NIP are kind of ready, just outside of San Martin, ready to get into that edge of power grid. So I want to see maybe a big hard shift and see how some of these teams react. We saw it last week with some unusual circles, and it was the big teams
up on this?
that came out on top.
We've got Liquid and TSM quite close by, and I think I saw some of these teams slowing down. Yes, I did. Michael pulling up on this, and Gemty as a trade back in. Iroh's at least got a bit of a damage done, but look at TSM. They're in tatters. Liquid just dismantle them. Bye-bye, TSM.
Well.
From 0 to 0.
First to 16th. How often have we seen that? Gemty getting back on his feet, and that's a big points haul for Team Liquid. He is well wedged under that vehicle, isn't he? Sandwiched. M249 for the Beast. Best Losh. Going to be happy with that one. But TSM, jeez. Well, you know what? You know what? Dids is out back, and you can't really coach much when you've just won a game. But when you lose a game like that, when you get bodied and surrounded.
It's just like Gemty, how did he get away with this angle? Like, watch him. Like, just getting that first kill, and then you've got Ibby. Like, they're landing shots.
He literally just popped out of the van. Straight out of the van, headshot Gustav. Boom.
It's pretty wild. I mean, it wasn't even that much of a pull-up for TSM.
Boys, pull up.
But I think Liquid, when you put them in those fight scenarios, and there's no third parties, they're still such a deadly team. So it's like you've got two heavyweights just kind of back and forth, and they just got the knockout punch on that one. They just completely outdid them. So is what it is. TSM go down. Again, for TSM, in my eyes, I don't mind seeing them have a couple of games where they have, you know, highest highs and lows, because they've had higher moments throughout. They've had some consistency here.
Yeah, that's true. Well,
it's automatic.
San Martin. The San Martin road's kind of like the central point, right? Which is what G2 are sort of heading in towards at the moment. A lot of compounds in and around it. We have had a San Martin finish in the past. There's a lot of areas that this circle has pulled to in terms of heat maps and circle finishes across the board, across the leagues. And by the way, apologies if I am louder than Lauren. We're perfectly fine in our headsets. There's nothing we can do about it.
No, mic is literally in my mouth.
Yeah, maybe I just, if I put mine like
just take your headset off.
Way out there.
There you
go. There we go. I'll be much quieter or something.
I don't know. It's fine.
No, I think the sound guy's going to come in and complain at me.
Move mic closer to your face. No.
Is that your Ukrainian accent right
there? It's pretty poor. I'm working on it. I can only swear in like any sort of CIS languages.
I was taught the swear words by the makeup lady. It was great.
Yeah, I'll try and expand my vocabulary.
Serious conversations being had. But anyway, I do know now if I get abused, I will know what they were saying at least.
That is true. Now let's look at Death Valley, because already Na'Vi are looking at it. This is the other side of this is where TSM were, for example, when Na'Vi were up on the hill when they had that huge game themselves. And then I think not N47, but this is N47. That's T-Bone going down. CrowCrowd needing a good one here. That first game they had the disaster that we saw TSM have. That
just a little bounce. It did enough damage though, but he should bleed out. There's no one there to revive him, so done job. Vascu just like, I'm just going to put you out your misery, mate. It doesn't steal the points away from Dimmy.
Be a nice idea, wouldn't it?
I think
in a way.
Yeah.
Let's see where this goes, because we're looking at either Power Grid or the Valley. I think teams are generally opting towards it. I think obviously East of San Martin can happen, so it's actually a lot of viable endings here. And it's just going to centralize up on San Martin. The Hillside South has had a lot of games where currently Team Liquid are. It's a very big compound. I like how NIP have done this. With Vard being over here, that could be a nice jump-off rotation point for NBS and the other boys to get over there. That's why a lot of these teams are now heading south. I think it has a more likelihood. That's a bad gun to be running past. That can just destroy cars. Luckily for them, they're alive.
Yeah, I'm not really sure how. But okay. They got away with it. I think Bestlosh's going to be a bit miffed about that one as well. Senya's on the hunt. He's going for it. He's like, that car is wounded. Let's track him down, go to the other hill. He's going to blast it into the hillside. I think Na'Vi are going to end up on that hill that NIP just abandoned. 7, oh my god, 7, what are you doing? The rest of the 7 have just pulled in right next to Nip, right on top of them. So they're probably not going to last too long. Meanwhile, Team Liquid looking down at Digital Athletics down below. You can see SIMSY took a bit of damage. And NIP, here we go, right on top. Edelweiss, it's just... It was a crazy move, but Buster somehow managed to get Gaxi down. The birthday boy has been flushed already.
Yeah, not good. NIP in a bit of a tricky spot. It feels like they've lost idea of where 7 currently, are working around. And you ideally want to try and pick up some quick kills on this compound. Buster going to just slow them down with utility, put the smokes down, make it harder to breach those stairs. It's just going to buy time here for the rest of the squad to maybe get a bit of vision, maybe get over to it. Just look at Crab, look at Sadovnik. They're not that close. So Buster's just maybe buying time to allow them to get on that northern side here, get vision on that road cross, and maybe just get some pressure on these boys.
Yeah, Nip have left it a little too late, I would say, to get Buster down. Having lost a player in that pull-up. I'm surprised they actually got in cleanly. Samty's still down as well. I think he's getting revived now by his brother. No, tell a lie. James is possibly over there. I'm not too sure. Yeah, he is. He's there. Okay, he's back up now.
This is really awkward, though. NIP are quite lucky in a way.
They're safe.
Na'Vi just got basically 7 under wraps. Miraku's on the breach. There's Vard finding Buster, and now it's game time. So they know that this building's clear. That's theirs. That's really well played from Vard to hold those angles. Beautifully done. And now 7, kind of a flip scenario. They get pinched in here. They get Na'Vi on one side and NIP on the other.
Medusa's in your house. What do you do? What do you do?
Run.
Run for your life.
Leave. You can have it. It's fine.
Well,
I don't
apparently he's letting him have it. I mean, he's a long way from the rest of his team. So, just not feeling it either way. He's like, you shoot back at me. you shoot. I'll come back. So, I think he just wasn't sure whether they were in that building. He wasn't feeling confident. Oh.
Oof, Nookie, where was that?
Where
is Nookie?
Was he throwing the last night? No.
Show me where Nookie is.
Oh, he's
okay. I thought he was in some mad off angle somewhere. Anyway, let's take a look at the circle. It looks like teams are actually pretty spread apart here. You can look at the kind of teams going for the heavier pickups that don't play outskirt games is the ones just south of San Martin and maybe slightly towards the west of it, because that has a common ending sort of around that marker. So you're looking at your Na'Vis, your NIPs, your Liquids. Although look how spread Liquid are again. I love taking territory. It scares me when it's that centralized. You have G2 just down the hill on the eastern side and close towards Hacienda, for example. And the rest of the teams playing outskirt games. None of them are really fighting for middle ground. San Martin close in. This has got a lot of the east in it still. So Hacienda's still within this.
This is looking like one of those San Martin games to me, though. Judging by the way it's going, you never know. There's still a large portion of those hills, and Team Liquid are happy to keep their big stretch.
I want Ibby to fall back to the rest of them, though.
Yeah,
I don't like having, not at this point, because he's taking on the entirety of GamerLegion right now. Yes, he's safe, he can fall back, but then if G2 come in, and you got FaZe coming on the other side, you got NIP up there, this is getting a little too deadly.
FaZe managed to blast in the circle. They're going to go north side. That's going to run them straight into Na'Vi. if they continue on their trajectory. Na'Vi themselves are focused on fighting 7 though, so they will be a little caught unawares. So where Na'Vi just moved from is where FaZe will move into. CrowCrowd, they may well pull up on the hill above FaZe Clan here though. I've got a feeling, judging by the path they're going to take, I think they're going to come in directly above FaZe Clan. ENCE also in the north side of this circle. The Knights finally leaving the power grid, safety of their home. G2 still with a decent north-south split.
Yeah, this is... The one scary part of this town is that it's so hard to clear comfortably. There's always the fact that there could be just someone waiting anywhere. So all these teams are just going to try and get into any sort of decent enough positioning where they can keep themselves safe. It's not about trying to just clear it out as much as you want to, as much as you hate sharing that sort of San Martin area. It's too risky because you're probably going to get traded on in an untradeable area yourself. So for now, CrowCrowd playing the outskirts, going to try and catch anyone coming in from the northwestern side. That does include the Desperados, but towards the slightly further north, maybe northeast of them, you have ENCE. So again, bit danger here, and ubah, definitely a dangerous man. Hipfire so comfortable. Look how just smooth he makes it.
Oh my word. Well, goodbye Desperados. It was points given to ubah and mxey. Not really anywhere for them to go there, just collapsing it. What that did do though is give the position away of FaZe Clan to CrowCrowd. So they know that CrowCrowd are below them. Vard is running the gauntlet, trying to get back to his team. Oh, is he safe? Is he safe? Get out of there, get out of there. I don't know where else he's going to go from here.
Nice little turn on the car, though, to be able to give himself the driver's side to get out of, so he can just maybe get a little bit of a heal off, because he probably knows that that long barn is pretty safe. And you can see his teammates trying to help him out with the smokes, give him a bit of a chance of survival. Well played considering the scenario. Not sure if I like the middle of the road play, but who am I to judge?
It's just, maybe he was hoping that more would crash into, he was going to get distracted from there. But N47's play, they have took a really big swing. They've ended up over in the north side of Hacienda, and they've got themselves a crate out there. Digital Athletics, they sent it all the way around from Graveyard side. They're not in a really safe spot, as you can see on your screens there. The picture-in-picture kind of surrounded Sixmo, hoping that the smoke and that explosion will indeed finish him off.
Yeah, DA not able to get into this game, it seems like. They're getting picked apart between G2, Reciprocity, and look at the split on them right now. You literally have every angle, at least going to get some sort of pressure coming in, let alone when they have to rotate. Let's see if this goes south or stays within San Martin. Oh. East! Wow, okay, so we have Hacienda in play, N47 super happy, Reciprocity super happy. Wonder if they're going to maybe pull those players back together. Man. G2, what a split as well. Dangerous, play 2-2 at this point, but look how much open ground there is.
What do you do in the West here now? All these teams in San Martin, FaZe Clan, Na'Vi, 7, NIP. Even Raise Your Edge, you're going to get pressured. They're on the back side. CrowCrowd and ENCE, who are on the north side, they're fine. They're just going to rotate north and come in on the edge of Hacienda. FaZe Clan, I think they're going to try and get out of the north side, which I think it should be safe. Na'Vi are kind of blasting it. They're going to go to the edge of San Martin, which is just about inside. You can see Nip. They've been caught too slow.
Oh, best of luck. That's big. Denying MBS, trying to come through this one. I like the fact that NIP were already set up. Na'Vi coming in late, but they have the firepower to pull them through it. Seven's on the way as well. This is where it gets bloody, because FaZe are going to turn up eventually. You have all these teams filtering through the rotation route. Pokemolodoy on the move up as well.
And you got Liquid in the hills, along with Raise Your Edge, all looking down on them. So anyone that scurries across roads, and now Na'Vi have just got away with a completely open run across the road. How did nobody pop shots on them there? ENCE, they did go for that northern rotate. They've come in towards Hacienda, then kind of close to N47. CrowCrowd doing the same. They're going to almost come in the backside, same route that N47 just took. You already saw. Wow, is Aitzy really going to be able to just get across this road?
No.
Oh, I'm gonna say there's got to be Liquid or something up there. That's pretty cruel from SIMSY. So he's just sat and watched and waited for him to come into the open so he could flush that kill.
Yeah, that's pretty harsh, isn't it? That's got to feel pretty bad.
Playing with your food.
I mean, the problem is as well, like, if they run through the city, it's like, how are you going to check all those windows, all those doorways, all the, elevation? Yeah. You can't do it.
You just got to go for it sometimes.
It's just like, it's pure luck. Like, Na'Vi made it completely across the road, completely for free. FaZe didn't make it happen. Of course, that hillside in the south was probably going to be a little bit more busy. Nice shot from Scoom to keep NOOKIE tamed. And again, we are seeing GemT just hurting FaZe at this point.
So Fuzz lays down the 3 smokes and then instantly gets hit from 7 from the side. That nade is going to go well wide of the mark. But mxey's already down. Fuzz is having to heal himself up. So at the moment, FaZe are kind of in a difficult position, which is looking good for TSM, of course, who did just take them on the leaderboard. The nade from SIMSY will get 1. There's probably going to be another one followed down in a second to confirm.
Yeah, and we actually have ENCE right nearby N47. It looks like I see a Wookiee suit on them too, so they've definitely had a drop there. SKUIJKE on the heel, going to get some fire from afar coming through. NIP finding the engagement towards Raise Your Edge, who are in quite a nice position there.
CrowCrowd are coming in behind them as well. M47 are kind of surrounded. Page is looking that way and realizes, shuts the door, says, okay, we got someone coming behind as well. Tricky spot to try and hold off for the boys here. Of N47, who had a belter of a week last week with the 2 wins.
Yeah, and not sure how they want to approach this one. How do you breach it? I don't think you can. They do have their man out now, might just kind of stick to where they are. It's too hard to breach into this, and we do see, again, it looks like FaZe maybe looked for another option running through the city. This is where the next issue is. You have all those doorways. Look at all these windows to look out if you try and make that run up. And, of course, we have the vision and hindsight that, oh, well, here, look, you can run this way. They don't know that. So they're down to ubah now. He's going to try and find another path. It's like, do I go right, left? You got Na'Vi on the left. You got NIP and 7 on the right. Very, very tough scenario all around. Getting
a little assist from Team Liquid there. Krabic was taken down, so 7 also down to the 1 player in there at the moment, and ubah's trying to watch his play out. Last first aid used, so he's really just got to go for it now. There goes 7, so the path is open, but of course you've still got NIP and Team Liquid up in the hill. The circle, it's gone to Hacienda though, and that is brilliant for the likes of G2.
He might not even make this. It's going to be real close. Oh, I just got that tick up from the
nothing.
boost.
He's got no bandages, no nothing.
Yeah, it's time to just prone and try
7 grenades, though.
Look at Reciprocity's ground here as well. So CrowCrowd, N47, Reciprocity, G2's still prime. Really nice positioning. Those southern teams, I don't know what Liquid's going to do here. I don't know where they're going to head towards. They might need to send it somewhere. Raise Your Edge can stay where they are. It's not ideal, but they can stay. ubah's going to probably just be a little bit of a dagger in the back here.
Going for that little shack, I think. That's where James is heading. Well, certainly looking towards it. ubah, 7 grenades. Come on, just nade them all out.
How's he found 7 nades?
I'm going to assume that he's just been picking them up off his teammates' bodies, but there's also a chance that he's just got really lucky. Lucky with nades, unlucky with meds, it would appear. So this is a horrible move for everyone involved. NIP obviously getting across as well. He's sort of just tracking Nip as well. Miracle looks like he's low on meds as well. That's going to be a flush kill. Going to look towards MBS. Wants to try and confirm, but Coldamenta says no. Shuts him down, MBS. I don't really think he's got time for the revive there. No, I don't think so. Gemty on the move. This is Liquid pulling up their vehicles, moving them across. NIP being found by Raise Your Edge. Not too surprising. Raise Your Edge have a really nice compound to look across towards San Martino. And I'm surprised they get more pressure towards Na'Vi in this. But you can see NIP now in tatters. Can't do much about this one. Doozy's got the pressure going. That's CrowCrowd. Again, I'm surprised that Na'Vi got this far. They'd left San Martin, tried to transition towards Hacienda, and now you can see the punishment happening. NIP see them, or should I say Vard sees them of all players. And this is the compound Raise Your Edge you're in. That's why I was surprised they made it that far. Look at that line of sight they had. And they just heard all those shots and were like, hang on a minute, there's someone behind us in the rocks. What's going on? And that's actually going to draw their attention towards Team Liquid, if anything. Team Liquid are the ones getting fired. You can see that beautiful little crack straight down to G2. They're happy, taking shots on towards them. Meanwhile, James, here's the close footsteps. They think this is so close. They think this is Gaxi. They think that was Gaxi. That's what they were going up there for. Vard, sorry, who they just managed to get the damage down. So that just backfired on Team Liquid because Vard fired. Yeah, but Menox and SIMSY then just played a really nice game of just kind of staying out of line of sight. So James was taking the battle back by the great nice nade again. It took SIMSY out the car. This is so well played from Raise Your Edge. This is really clinically done. They're not overextending. They're not being stupid. Gemty now, impossible angles to fight with. Incredibly good player, but to be able to try and pull that off is just beyond his means. Very well done for Raise Your Edge to go, okay, let's push this. We want that hillside safe. We want to make sure it's ours. We need a transition to the next circle, and we will not have it from the previous compound. So now they're going to move because the circle has moved right onto Hacienda. So that battle we saw with N47, ENCE, and CrowCrowd is going to have to complete because ENCE are now outside, N47 happy inside, Reciprocity as well. Looking across the road, you can see GamerLegion, DA, Pittsburgh Knights, they're all in trouble. They're the south side of the road. The circle's pulled away from you. It's an open run. I have no idea he's here. Absolutely none, and I doubt they'd ever look behind themselves at this point. They know he's here because that's the man they were looking for when they got Team Liquid. That's because he'd got the double knock onto It doesn't look like they know he's there at all. I think they've lost track. Yeah, they totally lost track of him. Now they finish him off, but he's flushed another, so he just picked up some more necessary points for NIP. They need all they can get at the moment. Oh, no. Oh, no. I'm coming. No. That's awful. Oh, he's had a nightmare. Just the slow spinning round in the
in the bus. It's not ideal. Mitraleius will claim that for DA. That's points in the pocket. And again, you got to look at the strengths.
Smoking
here.
everything.
It's rough for the Knights. Going to work their way forward. And this isn't even to get to the circle. DA don't hold the line. They're halfway there. Then it's G2. It's just like, where do you go? The south side is just murder fields.
They're going straight to Na'Vi though. Siggy's going to cross, but as you say, the murder fields. Mitraleius, he's the last man for DA. GamerLegion trying to get involved. They want to get as many points as they can. Razor Edge's push has gone down. You can see it is simply flames. Best loss for that M249, putting it to work. G2 have a potential to pick up a lot of points in this game.
Yes, this would be the one. I still like the way Reciprocity are playing this. I like that spread in the east. It's keeping map control. And this is just murder in the south. We knew it was going to happen. GamerLegion are staying alive for now. They have that little bit of a run-up, that little ledge that leads towards the road. But if they try and cross it, they're going to be under fire from 2 teams, maybe 3. Na'Vi in dire straits, but BestLodge is trying to bail them out. They've found mxey trying to get across the road. That was Razor Edge from the southwest.
It's working out. That's 3 members of Razor Edge he took down. That was the bike that pulled up.
Oh, nasty little angle.
They're just thinking of all things we pulled up on an M249 with a 3-time staring down us. GamerLegion Reciprocity, that's still across the road. Now, they just got a knock. Yeah, mxey's kind of going for this because they got a knock on Reciprocity, but you can see G2 are also making it count. They're coming across the hillside, and that puts GamerLegion out in 7th place. Monkey, is he going to get time? There's a nade coming from Yannis.
I don't know. I don't know if you can even see this one. I think you'd nade the
rock.
rock.
Short,
yeah, though I think just out of, doing your checklist, you'd probably nade the rock rather than deeper, so that's just him trying to do a more normal nade. Reciprocity need to bail him out. I need Shiv and Scoom to try and support them here to try and give Udia the time to revive, do something, because G2 want this. They're still nading out the rock a little deeper this time. Yannis is starting to clear through. I think Udia is about to have the time to get the heal off now. That should be coming up. There it is. And a southern hit. This is incredibly strong for G2, incredibly strong for Reciprocity. Look at their eastern spread, and the vast majority of the northern teams are just going to kill each other coming out of this area.
Yeah, CrowCrowd just got 1 down of ENCE because they had to move out of their compound, so 1 nade managed to catch them out. Don't forget about Na'Vi, still down on that western side. N47 have made the move. They've gone ahead, so they've moved into the ditches. They have a really nice ditch here that they can get into, which gives them cover from Reciprocity in G2. Good. But the problem is, they are open territory. If Senya comes over this ridge, you will see them clear as day. If CrowCrowd get in towards that compound, they're going to see them. While it's safe for now, look at this. Look at this angle.
But as soon as he starts firing, he knows he's dead from other angles. He's banking on BestLodge to keep him safe, and that's what's happening for now. TRYFFELI's gone down towards it. Senya's got the nade that's probably trying to slow down the player who's close by. Deeper nade's come through, and it looks like Rustanmar and SKUIJKE are about to make the play too. Reciprocity
have got the other side of that ditch as well, so it's not a safe spot, and it's really going to be just be an open field for everyone here. BestLodge starting to collect those kills. He's looking for a triple here.
He's taken
That's looking like a good nade. Yes, it is. BestLodge gets himself the triple with that one. 6 kills and counting, but Braexco's got his angle covered this time around. That will be BestLodge and Na'Vi going down.
How do you control that spray? It's a 4 times on an AK Braexco. What on earth? Like, it's just...
kicking like a mule, but it's just like, no problem.
Filthy to watch, man. He just tracked him so well. Like, I love seeing that. Now, N47 took that ditch. You said it. CrowCrowd now on the take, though. That's been made open by this off angle from Ivil. Very nice. But look at Page, look at Vasco. They've already knocked CrowCrowd, unable to convert this push cleanly here.
Not a lot left for any of these teams. CrowCrowd trying to work their way down. They need all the points they can, but unfortunately for them, it's not looking like they're going to get much more than this. That's some nice shots from Yannis that just tap onto Monkey's head there, forcing him back. It's definitely going to be G2 versus Reciprocity for the final circle here, unless anything else goes their way. Still very even between the two. NELLOZ with the knock there. Now, does Yannis take this chance to push around? I think he's being held back by his team. Braexco's just going for it, though. It's just straight over the top.
Why not? He's feeling it. Have some fun with it. You got CrZZ basically holding the whole southern side. He can see the cross completely. Yannis going to keep the fire on. If they do get picked apart, though, that's where the danger begins because they can't get those revives coming in. New circle hits. It's pretty much centralizing up. You still have N47 in a bit of a scuffle here. Ivil's trying to keep him humble. Tiikzu goes down, and Misa can't clear this out cleanly.
Yeah, Ivil goes down, N47, 4th place. CrowCrowd will confirm the top 3 at the very least. See whether they can get more from this. We've had big plays so far. They're going to get Tiikzu back on his feet as well, so there's a whole chance for them to get involved in this fight while G2 look to try and push their advantage on Reciprocity.
I just need to see how this plays out. The problem for Reciprocity is it looks like CrowCrowd are kind of looking their way. So that little bit of extra help you might have on the south against G2 has now been removed. So I think Reciprocity, sadly, the terrain they're in as well is only being kept safe by smokes here. It's so hard to now transition away from this. I'm
not sure. Yeah, Udi is trying to watch the angle here, but I'm not too sure how much information they're going to have that CrowCrowd have got back on their feet and coming right at them. I think they're going to get pincered by both teams here. Misa's the man on the flank. You can see his angle on the bottom corner of your screen there. He just doesn't really have too much to approach. As soon as that smoke, you can see that left smoke, it's about to finish. There we go. Misa gets a little vision through it. As soon as that smoke dissipates,
Braexco's
and that's surely caused the problem.
Misa's moving. I love the push. As soon as they see pressure, Braexco's off. He's going. As soon as he saw that knock come in, he's trying to find a little bit of a nastier angle to play with. And I'd love to see his perspective, see what he's managed to find here, because you can see the rest of his team trying to support him, allow him to move further forward. And now Molly comes out. He wants to get that pressure by the tree. He knows that's one of the points they're using. See Shiv, another Molly. They're just setting him on fire. Chris and Yannis piling in. Shiv's gone down. Scoom is going to be burning alive if he's not careful. And the spray, again, he's just trying to get the job done. Doesn't overextend just on his own. He knows there's another threat here because Tiikzu's still up. And we've seen Tiikzu clutch these out. And
he gets Braexco down, so that's caused a problem for them suddenly. We're into phase 9, so any knocks on G2 are going to be pivotal. There's no one really to revive him. Chris, though, is a position they're not aware of. That Molly just coming down the other side of the rocks. They're suddenly swinging like, what the hell? Where did that just come from? What just hit us?
I don't know if G2 are spreading themselves pretty thin here. There's a world in which this can go wrong. Scoom can be a nuisance. You basically have like a 3-man lineup now in the north against 3 in the south. And Chris is on his own. Now, of course, Scoom is not going to necessarily help out Tiikzu, and it looks like he's just, banking on the prone to help him out. That's what these two players were dedicated towards. Now it's down to Tiikzu and Misa, and they've been in scuffles galore in the north. I don't know how good their gear is. I don't know how well they're situated now.
Yeah, look at the center point. Braexco's crawling to get the information. The rock and the tree, that's kind of it. There you go. So Tiikzu just takes him down. 8 kills and counting. This is still good. But as I say, CrowCrowd need to beat G2 here. G2 is one of the teams they're chasing. They're both qualified for PGC at the moment.
They've got a plateau here, Lee. Hold on. CrowCrowd's angles are not bad. They actually have a better position to play from. See that little ridge in front of Misa here? It's beautiful. That's what Tiikzu's got. He's just found Chris.
Got the knockdown. Misa goes looking. Yannis holding the angle just behind that tractor trailer. That's a good shots from Misa, but it's quickly returned from Yannis as well. But Yannis is going to have to back up to heal off now. NELLOZ, if he overpeaks here, he's trying to go for the revive on Chris. I don't know if they've got anything to try and help out here.
No nades, I'm pretty sure. They're down to just what they've got beside them. NELLOZ outdoes Tiikzu, and it's just down to Misa here in a 1v2. Chris is about to bleed out. He does have a nice little angle to watch. If only he had a nade or something to do with it here.
Realizes the danger. Knows that NELLOZ is down there, and he's going to try and smoke it out, and he's trying to play with it. Just caught a glimpse. Is he going to go to the other side of the smoke?
This is nice.
He's going to try and use that smoke. So he knows that he took it to a 1v1 basically. He knows where NELLOZ is, and he's trying to take it and completely take Yannis out of the fight and take it to 2 1v1s.
It's the perfect way to play it. It's the only way he could win this scenario is if he does this. And G2 eventually do need to push towards Misa. He's looking for the extremity push from G2, which is what they're building up slowly towards, but they're doing it slower than he is expecting it. So he's a little off timing here, and look at them, ready to trade. Trying to not line up, but ready to trade. As soon as those tags come in, he's in danger.
Gets one round the smoke. Yannis sees him first. And it will be G2 with a 10-kill win. It's exactly what the doctor ordered for the boys in G2. Based here in Berlin, the home of Gamer2. Oh, I used the old name. It's all right, Carlos, don't worry. Nobody remembers. Nobody remembers back in Gamer2. But yes, a win. A win for the Germans. And that's what they needed because the pressure was on them. They've had a pretty awful last 3 weeks, in fact, they've finished pretty awful phase 3 in comparison to phase 2, to be brutally honest. But a 20-point gap there, it really puts Pate to... they just need to play it out now. The chasers that are going to be CrowCrowd and, I was about to say Windstrike, CrowCrowd and NIP. It's going to cause a problem for them.
And I do want to highlight really quickly, smokes don't always look the same on spec lines. Yes. So just so you know, that end wasn't as easy as it looked.
Yeah. Pile up, take it, mate.
Thank you, D-Man. I'm here with Chris and Braexco right now. And the first question I want to ask you is that coming into week 6, you've needed to show a good performance and defend your positions because right now you're in contention for PGC. Does that change anything this week?
Not really. I mean, we played our game, so we have to fix in the last week, between the last week, our problems with the communication. So we're going really confident in this week, and yeah.
And at the end there, where you're going up against a couple of the players from CrowCrowd, who are one of the teams chasing you, is it important for your team to stamp them out?
Yeah, of course. Like, it's Nip and CrowCrowd against us for the PGC spot. So if we get like the opportunity to kill them, we're gonna kill them.
Awesome. Yannis and NELLOZ, the new boys, I'd like to ask about how the season has been leading up to this week here, week number 6. Do you feel that you've built as a team each week?
Yeah, definitely. Of course, we had a great start in the first week and then had a couple of rough weeks, but coming into the last week, starting off strong with a second and the first place feels really good, and I think we can build on that.
Yannis, do you agree?
I agree on that.
Awesome. Final question then with the two boys over to the right. Talk to me about when you guys collapsed on Rec together with CrowCrowd. How did you choose the moment to do that?
We knew we have like more angles and more space than them, and I could just go below them, just pressure them. I had like 3 Molotov, or I looted 3 Molotovs. So we're just gonna kill them now, because if they get like below us, like they're in the middle of the center, we have a problem in our game. So it was kind of easy then.
2 great games to start off week 6. Final question, Chris, then, do you feel like your team are starting to peak?
Of course, yeah.
Of course, yeah, from the words from words from Chris himself. Thank you so much, G2. Congratulations on that chicken dinner. Let's head back to the desk.
And a tasty one at that. G2 get themselves a very much needed chicken dinner to push themselves up the ranks after having a few difficult weeks. A second and a first place here on Miramar will set them in good stead. Joining me, Froz and Avenger. Gentlemen, G2 have come to play this week.
It was nice to hear from them as well. They wanted to finish off the season, or the phase here, and the season with a bang. And on top of that, if they can show themselves back into the top 5, if they can show themselves that they deserve to be at PGC, this is the time to do it.
I mean, we've seen Yannis and NELLOZ being a little bit up and down from week to week, but they're feeling more confident, meaning that it's gonna be more linear. They're gonna be feeling better. They're gonna do better as a team overall, and that's what they're showing us right now. So it's really nice to hear that.
Let's take a look at the highlights here from game number 77, as we did have the teams going up against one another once again, and already early fighting between TSM and Team Liquid. Not ideal for them. TSM going out in 16th.
So one of the reasons I feel like we have this, going from 1st to 16th, is because you get so much momentum from that win that you want to take every fight. Even if you're in a bad position, you're going to be like, hey, we won the last game, we got everything going, let's do it.
Yeah.
Then you take the fight, you're in the you got a bad position, but you take it anyway and you just lose it.
And here, DESPERADO also going kind of from a really good game to a worse one, not a lot of kills. But for me, guys, G2 making a run for it, N47 needs to look on. N47 is obviously looking to finish as strong as possible, but also trying to get more, like, bigger chunk of the prize pool. We are looking at the top 8 only getting a prize pool. There's a significant difference from being 6th to 5th. They're getting 50% more of the prize pool from that. So if G2 are able to kind of run it down and finish top 5 instead of N47, that would be massive for them, but really unfortunate for N47, obviously.
Be careful though, Reciprocity is waking up right now. Last game they had a 5th place with 7 kills. Now this one they had 3rd place with 4 kills. And currently, they are only 6 points behind NIP.
Are you referring to phase points? Phase 3 points.
Phase 3 points.
Yeah. Okay.
The leaderboard for the phase 3.
Just to completely clarify, there is only 2 terms we're going to be using from now on. It will be phase 3 points and global points. There are no other terms, so we can keep things as simple as possible for you guys out there. 2 teams get themselves 0 points for this game. Phase 3 points, of course. DESPERADO and TSM, unfortunately for them, they will not get anything from that. And we'll take a look at our 1 through 8 as well, as we have 20 points going to G2. 10 points, 10 kills. Great stuff for them to add to our phase 3 standings. CrowCrowd, though, 15 points as well. And when they're contesting against NIP, who only got themselves 5 points in this, admittedly 5 kills, it's good for CrowCrowd.
Yeah, I mean, it's super good for CrowCrowd, and if they can keep on going, it's going to be really good. We saw towards the end there, it was Tiikzu and MiseDOG left. Now, Tiikzu, he did get himself in a little bit of a troublesome positioning, and it was down to miseDOG. But what we saw from miseDOG, using the smokes, it looked good from the start. But then I feel like he overused them a little bit. If not, if he could bounce back, on the right side and left side of the smoke, he could have taken one of G2 out and then from there make a play.
What year is it, Avenger?
2019?
Exactly. Ooh, I almost caught you out. I was hoping you'd say 2000.
No. But nice damage here. 10 kills for 2,000 plus damage for G2. Nice to see. And also with this, with N47 only getting 5 points, they're going to be 17 points behind N47. 17 only. mxey and MiseDOG joining us for the 1,000 plus club, guys.
2 in 1 game.
Yeah.
We actually,
yes.
GamerLegion in the last game last week, you saw this. Tell us about it.
No, I actually didn't see it. Bjorn complained to me
Oh,
that we didn't show it. We didn't show it
at the end of last
But Bjorn
week.
actually managed to get second place. I think he's going to be overall from the most damage dealt in a game.
Yeah.
And I believe it was FaZe that also got 1,000 plus in
FaZe
another
got
game.
like just above 1,000, but Bjorn, he had like 1,300.
Oh, something like that.
So in the past 4 games, including the last one from the previous week, we've had 4 extra people join the 1,000 club.
And we said, what, 1 player?
I said 1 player, and I've royally screwed up as we continue things on. And obviously a big shout out to Samsung here, who's joining us as one of our title sponsors for PEL, the C27 RG5. Curved monitor coming from them, 240 hertz. Fantastic stuff. That's how I remember it. I love remembering things via song. Does nobody else do that? Come on, guys.
Was this how you remember the alphabet as well, right? So,
A, B, C, yeah.
go on.
Is it exactly?
Keep
Is
on
it
going,
exactly
keep on
the
going.
same
I think
cadence?
it's the globally for how you learn.
Yeah.
How do you do it in
ABC.
Denmark?
I don't want to do.
Come on, just give us
no.
a snippet.
No.
Ah, all right. Flim.
Yeah, that's the one.
That's the Danish alphabet. Flim, flam, flu. All right, thank you very much, gentlemen. Time for a short break here. Make sure to use the hashtag AskPEL as well. Continue sending those questions our way, my way, his way, that way, all the ways. And we shall see you in a few moments' time. We're going to be going to Sandhawk. We're going to be going to the jungle. We'll see you in a few.